So the first thing I'd like to ask you today is, what do you think of all your years in NLP is the most important thing that you have learned that you'd like to share with our Japanese audience?
Well, certainly, to me, one of the most important things is to have a positive belief that anybody can learn and can learn quickly if they're provided the right tools. Just requires those tools and a little determination, and over the years, certainly over the past 4 decades, almost every single client that came to me had been given up on by everybody. And that ranged from people who were backward schizophrenics to learning disabled kids, to athletes that could no longer perform the way they used to. It just runs a wide gamut. And given the right tools and the right skills, you can teach anybody to do anything, including be more determined. And to me, I certainly, when I look at the past 50 years, or 60 years that I've watched the Japanese culture, that this is a society that's picked itself up and become very, very successful and very, very technical. And that's by placing value upon good education and good learning. And I don't think they're ready to stop now. So NLP provides a garden of opportunities for those people to do everything better.
And now, as we are all facing it in this world, this ever-changing existence that we are experiencing, is there some advice or something that you could say to help people go towards how to be in themselves in this new era that we're entering?
Well, the first thing is don't listen to the prophets of doom. They have been there since the beginning of time, telling us everything is going to fall apart and everything is going to end. And that's been going on for thousands of years. In my lifetime, I've been through 4 recessions, and it's always going to be the worst one. And always in these times, there are people that do well and people who don't do well. That part of living in societies based on competition is that those with the best, who do the best, will survive. In Japan, long time ago, somebody set up a thing of quality control, so that instead of moving towards quantity, they move towards quality, and both in scientific exploration. And NLP has the same criterion to it. We are looking at results. We are not defending theories. We are not defending ideas. We get ourselves a new model every year, just like an automobile company does. And this is why certificates expire after 2 years, because I think people should update their knowledge. This is why I keep a close eye on my trainers to make sure they're current in the field. And when you're in the business of selling training and selling ideas, which is pretty much what we are doing, you can't just keep presenting the same idea and expecting it to fit an ever-changing society. You have to update those ideas and those skills. I certainly haven't slowed down, so my trainers shouldn't do either. They're all panting trying to keep up with me, and that's the way I like it.
So mentioning the best, as you know that your partner, and I think probably one of your best trainers, is going to be coming to Japan.
John Lavelle, of course. John Lavelle and I have worked together for over 25 years, and hands down, other than me, he's the best trainer in the world. He's done, number 1, more training, to number 2, more people, and in more situations. He's one of the top paid business consultants on the planet, and rightfully so. And every business he's worked with ends up becoming more successful and growing, extraordinarily so, exponentially. And he's a smart guy. He's very funny. I don't know how well he'll fit in with Japan, but I know that Japan can fit in with him. John is an experience that's worth having. There's a lot of NLP trainers that have just been around for a long time, but they didn't develop at the rate, and they don't have a good sense of humor, and they're not actually working in the fields that they're teaching about. There are lots of movies of me fixing clients and working with kids and things, and there are a lot of other people out there doing training, and there are no movies of them doing that because they haven't. And you can't teach what you do not know. You can't teach somebody to be a sharpshooter if you've never shot a gun. You can't teach somebody to do surgery, brain surgery, if you've never done brain surgery. You can teach them about it. You can show them pictures of it, but it's a whole different experience when you have somebody who's an expert. And John has run businesses. He's gone in and helped people reorganize their businesses. John has worked with clients. John's done it all. And there are very few trainers out there that have really done it all. John's one of them.
and we're really looking forward to having him come there, and also paving the way for your visit, of course, in the future.
I'm planning to come eventually. You know, I have to make sure Japan's ready for me.
Yes, that's right.
I'm a little bit like a tidal wave. You know, I have a very full schedule. I'm going lots of places, but I'm going to make that swing in the next couple of years.
Thank you.
Let you guys get ready for me, so by the time I get there, I won't have to do anything twice.
Well, actually, our bringing John to Japan is really, our intention is also that, so that we can really update, because some people, you know, they have the idea that what they did before is no good now because there's something new, rather than there are new things that you can build upon what they already learned.
Everything builds upon everything else. You know the meta model itself doesn't really change, but the way in which it's applied does change. And you know the skills from models like submodalities and neurohypnotic repatterning and all of these things, are different sides of the same coin. And your skills don't go away, but if your skills weren't taught in a way where they're fluid enough, then you end up doing things rigidly. I find that people who want me to give them a list of 6 things to do in exactly the same order, that's fine in a book like Get the Life You Want for the uninitiated. But if somebody wants to be highly skilled, they have to understand how everything applies to the instance so that it becomes vibrant. And to me, that we're in the business of having maximum impact for minimum amount of effort. And, that's what productivity is all about. That's what progress is about. Our cell phones have gotten smaller for a reason. They're easier to carry around, therefore more people want them. And our skills should get easier to apply. You have a new operating system in your cell phone, you should have a new operating system in your head. Our technology should not outstretch our imagination by any means. And NLP is as far as I can tell, the only real software updates that is being offered to the public at large on a worldwide basis. NLP is taught on every continent except Antarctica at this point in time. And some of the people that are doing the teaching are vibrantly involved in the field, and some are just trying to make a buck. And I always warn people, be careful of that. Check with the society, find out who's doing what and whether they should be. It's like anything else, buyer beware. You don't buy your Rolex from somebody standing outside an airport.
That's true. So,
Rolex is $40. They're the real thing.
Good. So any last message you'd like to, for today, give for our Japanese trainers and...
Well, for one thing, I think Japan should be proud because, it's culturally a very different thing, English and Japanese. And we live in very different societies, and the Japanese have put great effort into coming over here and training, bringing over groups of 30 people and another 30 people and another 30 people for courses. And this has been going on for a decade. And it's provided Japan with a really good cadre of trainers and made it, one of the hubs in the U.S. There are places like England, which are full of lots of good NLP going on, and places like Italy, where it's become very vibrant. And Japan has certainly, in the last decade, become, one of the really strong centers of good NLP on the planet. So you guys should be proud of yourselves.
And what would you hope for our trainers in Japan for the future?
Well, more better, of course. Me, everything's always more, better, faster. More, better, faster. That, to me, is, that's what defines progress, You trainers out there, don't stand on your laurels. Get better at what you do. And, the more we can accomplish, especially the more we can get into the school systems. We need for our businesses to have the people who do the thinking in those businesses use it. I use the same meta model in advanced systems planning in corporations that I do when I'm working with a schizophrenic. And, if you're stuck on an idea, you're stuck on an idea. But we really need to get kids to start learning to adjust and think differently at a younger age. We need to teach them how words are spelled and how math is really done. Instead of just doing it over and over and over and over again until you get it, we need to teach them, you make big pictures of things, it's easy to copy them down, You have certain sound systems connected to your fingers with no intermediate steps, you become a good musician. All of these strategies from NLP, if we taught them to children, then progress is going to accelerate. And we got to keep ahead of the curve here. We keep talking about everything these days. In the 60s, we started talking about the population explosion. And some countries have gotten their population under control, but a lot of them haven't. And the more and more humans, I mean, when I was young, there were 5 billion people, and now there's over twice that now. And it puts a great strain on the resources of the planet. And so we have to, number one, figure out how to use them better. We have to have great thinkers. We need more Einsteins popping up. And, and eventually we're going to be off this planet and we'll have infinite amount of resources in the universe. And that's going to be as hard mentally to handle as anything else. And we need to create more visionaries. And there's a lot of work to do on this planet. We have to learn to be a little bit more polite so we stop shooting each other for various reasons. And we need to realize the universe is so infinite, and God is going to have infinite faces. And there's an infinite number of ideas that will work. And we need to start looking at those and forgetting the rest. Things that don't work, got to throw them in the little garbage can, like the one on your computer.
Yeah, it's quite instant.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't work, it won't work next week,
Right, that's right.
To me, that's why I got so far so fast, is I threw out the things that didn't work and kept the ones that did, looked at what they had in common and came up with something better. Name of that's progress. The process is called thinking.
Many trainers, they don't realize that actually upgrading their skills will be beneficial and also very necessary,
Well, as soon as people tell me I got it, I know their brain has stopped. You don't got it, you keep getting it. And, the good trainers are people, John went to zillions of prac courses, and I went to lots of master pracs and lots of trainers courses, sat through them. And even when he teaches them with me, John always sits in because he might miss a little something. And when you're hungry for knowledge and you're looking for it, the trap in our business is adulation. A lot of people are doing things because they want to be admired, and that's the wrong reason. You not only have to do the right thing, you have to do the right thing for the right reason. Somebody drops their grocery bag and you pick it up so other people will think you're cool. You never really feel good about yourself. If you pick it up because it's the right thing to do, then you really get self-esteem. And when somebody becomes a trainer, enjoying making people smarter is the right reason. Not because lots of people will think you're cool. That's the wrong reason to become a trainer. And when you do, people have a tendency to get stupid. And I think people are either getting smarter or they're getting dumber. I don't think you stand still. And a lot of people start getting smarter, and then they get hooked on being admired, and they kind of go the other way. And they start acting like an idiot. And I understand that's a problem. To me, I just wait. They'll come around eventually, or they'll put themselves out of business. It's the old thing from the Mel Brooks movie. Don't move or I'll shoot myself, To me, what I concern myself with is excellence. I pay attention to the people that do excellent work, and I ignore all the rest. And I would recommend you all do that.
So anyway, we were very much looking forward to John Laval and Kathleen Laval and John Sebastian coming this autumn, as I said, to pave the way, upgrade all our skills there in Japan so that we can actually have you come and visit.
I'll be there. I haven't been there in decades, but I'll be back.
I want to thank you very much, Dr. Bandler, for your time today.
Thank you.
And as I said, we are looking forward to you coming to Japan in the very near future. Thank you very much.